this is not too shaky because this road is very bumpy. James from Shimwrecker Enterprises back. Another car vlog, but not the last car vlog of the weekend. Qualified in 11th place for match play, which means I get a 1-round bye, which means I don't bowl again until Sunday morning. Really, like, I think I talked about in the preview kind of incoming goals and such video yesterday of like, I just wanted to, you know, walk in, make decent shots and see it somewhat correctly, and if I do all that, then whatever happens at that point. And mission accomplished, to say the very least. It was a very steady block. I probably had one of the lowest high games out of anybody in the top 16, honestly. Don't remember exact scores. I'll have the videos posted once I'm back home of the actual qualifying block, but I went 293 over for my 8-game block, and I don't remember my exact games. And I mean, obviously I'm driving right now and just missed my turn, so really smart driver, by the way. 256 game 1, and I was like 220, 230, 210, 240, 240, 240. So I went, you know, 120 over the first 3, 135 over probably the back 3, and about 40 over in the middle. So really solid, steady, consistent block. My low game was like 210, something like that. So really was just able to kind of keep myself in play and stay patient, but capitalize on the good pairs when I had them at the same time. So really, genuinely a best case scenario, I think, for how I kind of felt coming in. Equipment wise, it was a little different than what I expected. I had a lot of surface on my NV Tour, and going into practice, you know, I had like 2,000 on my Extreme, like 3,000 on the Summit, decent amount of surface, probably 2,000-ish on the NV Tour, and I think about a lighter 2,000 on my Widow 3.0. The clean stuff, I think I threw like a shot with my effect in practice, and it just went 60 feet. So that kind of helped me narrow down to figure out that, okay, shiny's not the play. And so then it's kind of figuring out, piecing together what was the answer. Extreme felt like way too much ball. It's kind of fighting to get it to hook in the right spot, and the 3.0 would never actually hook in the right spot in practice. So it is what it is. But I figured out, it was like, oh, through my NV Tour for about 4 or 5 shots in practice, and was like, huh, this seems workable. Let's just kind of follow this rabbit trail and see where it leads. That was the end of practice. Didn't ball change until game 7, frame 3. Except for I got fooled in game 4, and I think I threw 3 shots with my effect. So I was just able to really keep myself, like, kind of the key when you're moving pairs, especially when pair to pair gets a little weird like it did today, is you want to find a way to make the moves easier pair to pair. And so I mean, my NV Tour was not the most amazing shape, but it was keeping me in play, and I was getting it through the pins, and it made my moves pretty simple when I was moving on to new pairs most of the time. And I didn't see a whole lot of people doing the same thing. I'm not sure if that's just me having some sort of a trick that let me get away with that more, but at the same time, I'm not really asking too many questions right now. So yeah, through my NV Tour for, like I said, I threw it for the first basically 6.5 games. Effect looked at it at the end of game, I think it was the end of game 3, and it actually looked really good. Went to my game 4 pair and went, or whenever I threw it, I think it was game 3 or game 4, and I went strike, 2-4, 7-10. Okay, not going through the pins right, probably not the correct ball. And so at that point, I just go back to my NV Tour, and I had 47 in the 3rd, and managed to save 220, I think, that game. 210 or 220. So, you know, I was able to kind of get back on it there, and then, you know, even making the turn to the low end, I made the turn to 5 and 6, and shot 241. So I was just able to keep myself in play the whole time. And that was really kind of my main goal, I guess, for lack of a better term. So, really happy with how I bowled. Threw the Theer in the last couple games. Also looked really good. I was a little worried earlier on that it might be a little too clean and weak, but then I threw my effect again on my Game 6 fill, and it just went insane. And so that was kind of when I realized that if I needed to get out of the Envy Tour, that the Theorem was probably going to be it. And that ended up being the case, and hit the pocket 12 times and shot 248 game 8 to vault up from 19th to 11th. So, like I said, pretty much a best case scenario. Really happy with my bowling. With that said, I'm also tired, and I'm also really hungry. So, time to go find some food. Like I said, I'll have all the videos chopped up and posted once I'm home. Yeah, time to get some rest, and the second round of match play starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, let's get it. But, till then, adios, y'all.